welcome to my Flosstube channel, the House of Floss and Fluff. And this is my first Flosstube video, actually my first YouTube video of any kind. I've never done any type of video before, so bear with me. Anyway, I am very, very excited to be here since I have been watching Flosstube off and on for probably the last 6 months, and I've really, really enjoyed it. It's such a fun way to get to know other stitchers in the community and to see what they're working on and to drool over all of the stash that they get. So much fun. So anyway, my name is Carrie, and you may know me as Crafting Paws. That is my Instagram handle, Tumblr handle, and it's also the name of my blog. You may also know me from the Stitch Mania group. I'm not super duper active. I try to be, but I'm kind of on the shy side, even when it comes to the internet and interacting on there. So this is like way outside my comfort zone, but thought I'd take the plunge and try and do it. So since this is my first Flosstube video, I figured, hey, let's start with an introduction. Well, I have to be honest, I hate introductions. I've done them before for blogs and Instagram, different things like that, and I hate doing them. But there's the great Know Your Needleworker tag. Love that tag. So it gives you questions, and it's a great way to get to know a little bit more about me. And it's kind of fun because it does different things besides stitching, so you get to know other things that I'm into, so that's cool. So we're going to start there. So the first question is, where do you live? Well, I live in the United States, and I live in the state of Michigan, and I love it here. I love it because we have, 4 complete seasons, and our summers aren't usually too long, and most of the time they're not too super duper hot. I don't like summer very much. I don't like the heat. I hate mosquitoes. They love me for some reason, but I hate them. So I live for fall and winter, and thankfully living where we do, we get quite a bit of fall and winter. So question number 2 is, what do you do for a living? Well, I'm a stay-at-home mom, but I also run an Etsy shop where I make hand-painted mason jars that I do some embellishments on them and whatnot, but I really do love what I do. I love getting to be creative for a living. It's a lot of fun. And I also I'm thinking about maybe adding some needle minders to my shop. It's kind of a work in progress right now. We'll see how that turns out. I would love to start adding some sort of cross-stitch stuff to my shop just because I do love cross-stitch so much. So question number 3, do you have any children? I do. We have one son who is 13. Yes, the dreaded teenage years, but I'm pretty lucky. He's a pretty good kid, so I do love him to death. And number 4, do you have any pets? Well, that question really ties in with the name of my Flosstube channel, the House of Floss and Fluff. Well, the floss comes from me with all of my cross-stitching. The fluff part comes from the 3 cats that we have, all long-haired cats, and we also just added a 6-month-old Newfoundland puppy to our household. So yeah, there is a lot of fluff running around my house, both running free on my floor and just running around the house on the animals. So question number 5 is, do you have any other hobbies? My business kind of started out as a hobby first, but it's really not anymore. I have set work hours, so I don't really count that as a hobby. Otherwise, cross-stitch is my main hobby. I don't really have time to do a lot of other things, and I honestly would rather be cross-stitching. As probably the closest other one I have to a hobby would be fabric dyeing. And I've really gotten into fabric dyeing. I love dyeing my own cross-stitch fabric. So that would probably be my other type of hobby. Okay, so now comes the big ones. Your favorite movie. It's kind of a hard one. I don't really watch a whole lot of movies. But whenever I get that question, the one movie that always comes to mind first is The Princess Bride. Love, love, love that movie. I love it for so many reasons, but one of the main reasons that I love that movie is my husband also really loves that movie. So I really like things that, I like watching things that my husband and I both enjoy. And that movie is actually one where we quote lines back and forth to each other. I think if any outsiders saw us, they'd probably think we were totally crazy, but that's okay. And then, of course, my husband and I are also Star Wars fans. Who isn't? We're also, like I said, we're big Star Wars fans too, and we've gotten our son into the movies as well. He loves the movies, so that's been nice because we've been able to share that with our son. And speaking of our son, we also have been reintroduced to 80s movies. Both my husband and I grew up in the 80s, and it was a really kind of a surprise when my son came home and from school and was talking about all these 80s movies that his friends were watching. So we started watching a lot of 80s movies with him, like The Goonies, the Ghostbusters movies, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Gremlins. It's been a lot of fun because it's kind of like reliving our childhood too, which has been great. And then the last movie that I tend to think of is a movie called Head Over Heels. And it's a Freddie Prinze Jr. movie. It's a romantic comedy. I just love that movie. That movie is one of those that was always on TV. Whenever I was bored or something, it was like just always on. So I always watched it, and now it's become one of my favorites and kind of my go-to movie when I don't know what else I want to watch. I just pull that one out and watch it. And oh wait. Not the last movie. Of course, you cannot forget the Harry Potter series. That's all I have to say. My entire family loves it, so we watch that one quite often as well. Okay, so moving on to favorite TV shows. Okay, how much time do you have? This could take a while. I'm going to try and wrap this up quickly. I love TV. I can't help it. I do. My TV is usually always on, even if I'm not sitting down watching it. I usually have my TV on. I like the noise. So I do watch a lot of TV, probably more than I should. But my favorite type of TV to watch, I love murder mystery shows. I just do. So with that in mind, some of my favorites, I've actually been currently rewatching Castle on DVD. I also quite often will pull out Psych or Monk to watch on DVD. I love those ones. Very, very excited that they're going to be doing a new Psych movie for Christmas this year. Can't wait, because I love my Psych. Other ones I like The Closer. I watch NCIS, and then we get into the British TV shows. Yes, our household is a Doctor Who household. My son and I both really enjoy that. I need to get caught back up. I kind of missed some of the 12th Doctor, actually quite a bit of it. I don't know why, I just did. So I need to go and get caught back up. But my favorite all-time Doctor is the 10th Doctor, David Tennant. Love him. Aside from that, I am also a huge Sherlock fan. Love Sherlock. Love, love, love Sherlock. I also like Miss Marple and Poirot and Agatha Raisin. Loved Agatha Raisin. I believe there is one season, full season out. I don't know if they're doing a second season. I wish they would, because I really, really liked that show. And then aside from those, I liked Miss Fisher. Really liked that one. And Murdoch. Murdoch Mysteries, one of my all-time favorite shows. So then, stepping away from the mystery shows, I also really, really like Once Upon a Time. That was actually a show that I saw on Netflix and didn't think I was going to really like it, but I went ahead and took a chance and ended up binge watching, I think, the entire series. I just loved it. And then Big Bang Theory. Love Big Bang Theory. It's one of my go-to shows of when I have no idea what I want to watch. I just watch it. Mindless comedy. I love it. My husband and I both do. And that's another one where we actually quote back and forth from the movie to each other, or from the show to each other. We do that a lot. Okay, favorite book. Well, I used to read a lot. Pretty much every night before I went to bed, I would read for at least half an hour to an hour. and that's kind of died down now because I tend to stitch until like I go to bed. So by the time I go to bed, my eyes are so tired, they're like, no, we're not reading, we are going to bed. But if I have to say some of my favorite book series, I really enjoyed Janet Ivanovich series, the Stephanie Plum series. Really liked those. Again, I read a lot of mysteries. Of course, the Harry Potter series. I would really like to reread that series, but I don't think I'll ever have time to do that. Then on to favorite music. I'm an alternative rock fan. I like alternative rock. That's my favorite to listen to. I'm also a child of the 80s. So I love 80s music and my 80s hair bands. Yes, I do. I love them. And lastly, a word to describe me. One word I would think of would be homebody, because I really do enjoy being home. I'm not a huge fan of crowds and things, so I actually really enjoy being in my house, in my cave, as my husband calls our living room, and just sitting, stitching, watching my favorite shows with my animals all around me. I'm happy. That is where I am happy. So that is that tag. And so now I figured what I would do is I would show some of the more recent things that I have finished, to actually show that I do finish projects. Okay, I don't usually get them framed, that's the next step, but I do actually finish some projects. So I've got everything over here, I just have to try and find everything. So I pulled everything, but you know, you pull everything with the best of intentions and then trying to find it. Okay, so my most recent finish is actually a Doctor Who piece. And this was by Frigid Stitch on Etsy. And I will try to link to shops and whatnot on the bottom. Okay. And so this is the, oops, sorry. This is the completed piece, and this is the 10th Doctor and his companions. And yeah, you're probably not, okay. And on the bottom it says, "It's the burden of a Time Lord, and I'm the only one left." And so this was done on 14 count Ada. It's a beigeish color, and it was done by DMC. It was released by them. So really, really need to get this framed. So like I said, with my son and I both being Doctor Who fans, I have a lot of Doctor Who patterns that I need to get stitched. So this was a lot of fun to work on. Wasn't super difficult, which is good. I don't like difficult pieces. I tend to stick with kind of simple pieces, I guess, or simpler pieces, I should say. And I tend to stitch more smaller pieces. So, okay, so the next one I finished rather recently was a Big Bang Theory piece. And this one took me probably way longer than it should have. Sorry. It got buried in here. I wrapped it up to try to keep it clean. I think I wrapped it way too well. But here we go. So this is all of the Big Bang Theory characters. And this is by Good Morning Maui on Etsy. And it says, "It all started with a big bang." So I love this piece. It was so much fun to work on. All the characters, they are just so cute. So cute. Like, I seriously want to pull and do all of them individually now, because I just think they're so cute. So, and this is just white 14 count Ada. I usually work on 14 count Ada. That's my my comfort zone. I've been trying to branch out and do more on even weave and even a little bit on linen, but my comfort zone is my Ada. That is where I'm happy working. Okay, and this next one, I'm going to butcher the name of the designer of this one. I apologize right now. Pronunciations, not my strong suit. So this one it's Princess Dresses, and this is Ariel, Jasmine, and Tiana from Disney, which I do love my Disney. And so there is that piece. All done. Now I gotta find a really pretty frame for this one. And it is by, in fact, I'm not even gonna try and say it. I'm just gonna spell it. The designer of this is AVRORACS, and that's on Etsy. Okay, I'm not even gonna try and say the name, but I love this one. And she has a whole line of these, and then I think I have all of the patterns. So I do plan on stitching like all of them. So, like I said, now I've got to find some frames. And again, 14 count white Aida. I do stitch on other things than just white, but this just kind of, the ones I pulled were actually on white. Okay. Then, for the month of June, I decided to set myself a challenge, and I decided to stitch on various bird patterns that I have collected over the years. And so I started 17 new pieces in June, and I ended up finishing 9 of them. So I was really proud of myself. And so I'm not going to show you all of the stuff that I started or all of the finishes. I just picked out 4 that I really, really liked. Okay, and so this one, and these are by this one, I think all of them actually that I'm going to show you are by Fuzzy Fox Designs on Etsy. Love her stuff. Seriously, I think I have like every pattern of hers. But this is a cute little toucan. You can see him. And he's actually stitched on 16 count, kind of a beige, or yeah, beige brown Aida. Like I said, and he's totally out of my comfort zone on 16. See if you can kind of see him close. He's really cute. So, and these I should really get framed because I love doing little pieces like this because I can frame them in hoops. And that usually goes a lot quicker for me, especially since I keep a lot of hoops around. So I should just really go ahead and finish him. Okay. And again, I said these are all by Fuzzy Fox Designs on Etsy. This is a cute little white parrot. He's on a green, like an avocado green color. This is 14 count. Let's see if you can see him. And yeah, there we go. Isn't he cute? I love him. Love, love, love. Like I said, my husband is an avid bird watcher, so I've got a lot of these patterns in mind for hanging in our living room because I know my husband loves birds. Okay, so then this next one, it's a pair of geese, and this is on 14 count hand dyed Aida that I dyed. I don't know if you can see, there they are. There's the geese. Aren't they cute? I think they're so cute. I think this would be a really cute little wedding sampler. So, love them. And I think they came out really, I didn't know, when I dyed this fabric, I didn't know what I was going to use it for. I had no clue. And pulled this geese pattern, and I'm like, oh, whites and grays, that would look really good with my brightly colored fabric. And it did. It looked really good. So I was like, oh, that's awesome. And that's usually how I dye. I dye fabric not necessarily with any sort of pattern in mind. I just dye it. I just like to try different things. And this is the last one I'm going to show you, and this is my favorite one because I love penguins. So here's my little couple, my little love penguins. Aren't they cute? I think they're so cute. And this is on 14 count Aida. It's a peaches and cream type color, and I got this from 123 Stitch, which is where I get most of my stuff. I love 123 Stitch. Dangerous, dangerous website for me to be on. Yeah, because I usually go on there and order floss. Because unfortunately, I don't have a local needlework shop anywhere close. I also don't even have a Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Joann's, nothing close. The closest thing I have is Walmart, which they do have. Our Walmart has a fairly good craft section, and they actually have a fairly good cross-stitch section, but unfortunately they do not carry a full set of DMC. I wish they would. It would save me so much time. So I get what I can here, and then I go on 1, 2, 3 stitch and finish off my collection of what I need. Okay, so now I figured we'll move on to my current whips. I will confess, I'm a serial starter. I like to start new pieces. I'm not real great at finishing them, but I do like to start them. So I have a lot of whips usually going at any one point in time. Plus, I get bored really easily, so I find that if I have a lot of different things to work on, it tends to keep my stitchy bug going, and I don't get too bored where I just put everything away and say, forget it, I'm done. So that works for me, because I've been stitching off and on for 20 years, and so I've discovered that that is the best way for me to keep going. So like I said, last 2 months ago already. Wow, where's the summer going? Crazy. In June, I did my bird challenge, where I worked only on bird pieces. For July, I decided I was going to work on pixel people pieces, because I have a lot of those. I didn't do so great in July. I had hoped to get a lot more done. In fact, I think I only really finished my Doctor Who piece and a couple small pieces. So I decided to extend my Pixel People challenge into August. So that's what I've also currently been working on. So that's what I'm going to show right now. Okay. If I can find, you know, if I would have been smart, I would have pulled all of this stuff and been like, oh, you know, here, this is what I'm going to show you. Okay, so up first, hold on, trusty tablet, because I do print most of my patterns. However, I don't usually print an overall picture of what the pattern is going to look like, because I don't know, I just don't. I'm sorry, ooh, wow, that's really like weird glare. So the first one that I'm going to show you is a Once Upon a Time piece. So it's the characters from Once Upon a Time. And it is by Cheeky Shark Labs on Etsy. Okay, and we're going to see if this will work. Okay, and that is what, hopefully not too much glare, you can kind of see, that is what the final picture is supposed to look like. Okay. Alright. Sorry. Okay, so this is where I have gotten so far. Okay, well, that's where I've gotten so far. So I've gotten Henry and Regina and Robin Hood, and I just started on Snow White. Okay, and this is being done on 14 count Stardust. So it's got the little metallic. It's got the silver metallic in it. And I love this fabric. I do. I really do. It holds me, I don't know. To me, it just makes my stitches look neat. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but it does. And to me, it just makes my stitches look so neat. I love working on it. So that was a new start that I did. And then, okay. This one is another one. You know what? I'm not even going to bother. Okay. This is another one by Frigid Stitch. And it is all the Disney heroines. So it's mainly all the female Disney characters. Not just the princesses either. So that is my start. Oops, hold on. Sorry, I almost dropped all of my floss for this, and that would have been a shame, because this has a ton of floss. So we've got Mulan and Jane, and I just started down there on Anna from Frozen. And the fabric is 14 count Aida that I dyed myself. It's a kind of a bluish gray fabric. And so it has, like I said, this piece has pretty much every Disney heroine. Not all of them. Mainly the princesses, but it also has some other female characters. So I love this one. I really do. Like I said, I love Disney. I stitched tons of Disney pieces, and they're all for me. They're all mine. They're all mine. What can I say? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm running out of room where to put things. Like I said, and I so should have sorted this out better. Okay, this one actually goes into some stash that I got. I don't usually buy a ton of stash. I usually buy like little bits here and there. But I decided I wanted to try even weave. And so Michael's was having a big sale. So I bought this one, which is the MCG Textiles even weave. And after I bought this, I'd read some of the reviews that were on it. And I know they're not great reviews. And I can see why. But for just starting on and just kind of practicing, it's okay. It definitely boosted my confidence to where I felt okay trying other things. So that was okay. So I decided to start Psych characters by Hug Sandwich on Etsy. So I decided to start those guys on that. And that is Sean and Gus. And so I just started Sean, and Gus is finished. But I'm not sure if I like it. Well, now looking at it, it's not so bad. When I first started stitching Sean, for some reason, he just looked horrible. But now that I actually pulled it back out, it's actually not so bad. So I will probably continue. But I swear, I think I cut my fabric too small. I swear I measured, like I double checked, I measured, I added, extra on, and I don't know what happened. I think it shrank. I think they shrink when they're in the bags. I swear I cut it big enough. So it may just end up being Sean and Gus for right now, and then I'll do the whole big piece, because the whole big piece has Chief, Vic, Juliet, Sean, Gus, Henry, Sean's dad, and Lassiter. So if you don't know the show, I'm sorry. Like I said, I don't print, most of my patterns are PDF patterns, and like I said, I don't like to print them, I don't like to always print them out. Okay, so this piece is one that I've been working off and on for, I don't know, over a year. And it's a piece for my husband, and this is what it is. And it is the Gadsden flag, and it says, "Do not tread on me." And this piece goes to show how much I love my husband, because I don't like the color yellow, and I'm terrified of snakes. So this really shows how much I truly love my husband, because I'm doing this piece for him. And it's by White Willow Stitching. Okay, like I said, I've been working on this for way too long. My husband says that too, but I've been working on this for way too long. I need to get it finished. So here it is. My big yellow monster, as I call it. And so there's the snake. He finally has a head. He was just a couple round circles for a really long time. So he finally has his head, at least. And so it's kind of a relaxing piece to work on, because it's only 2 colors. But it's also one of those that I find I get bored kind of quickly working on it. So, but I really need to buckle down and get this done for him. I would actually like to have the stitching finished for Christmas. Probably not finished, ready to gift him for Christmas, but I would like to at least have the stitching done on it. So, hold on, I gotta dig. Apparently all my other stuff got like buried here on the bottom. If I said smart, I would have pulled everything out. Okay, this is another Cheeky Shark Labs one, and like I said, I can show you the picture, but it's the NCIS characters. Okay. Again, Cheeky Shark Labs on Etsy. And so that is Tony and Ziva and the C from the NCIS logo. Aren't they cute? I think they're so cute. And again, this is just white Ada. And yes, there is a mark right here, but I had started on the next character, McGee, and his hair would just not lay right. So I ended up ripping out the whole thing, and I put the piece away for a little bit. Like, you've been naughty, so you're gonna get put away. And yes, I am a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to my stitches. I like them to be as perfect as I can get them, which is not always so great. I try. Okay. So this piece, I love mermaids. This is one of the mermaid pieces that I'm working on. And I really need to get back to this one because I would love to have it finished. And this is a mermaid by Doreen Jones. I got this on Etsy. So there is my Doreen Jones mermaid. I don't know if you can see. That tail took me forever. I was saying, this tail, it took me forever to get the tail stitched, but it came out really cute. And so this is, like I said, this is my mermaid by Doreen Jones, and I really, really need to get back to stitching this. And then this is a pretty turquoisey blue fabric that I, excuse me, almost dropped all my floss again, that I hand dyed myself. This is 14 count Ada. So, like I said, definitely need to get back to her. I'd love to have her finished. Oops. Sorry. Trying to get everything back into where it's supposed to go. Okay, only a couple left. Alright, so this is I'm sorry. This is a Disney piece. And this is by, hold on, I will find it. I thought I had written it down and I did not. Here it is. It is by X Stitch Mania on Etsy. I'll show you. It is Pocahontas, but as a ballerina. And she has a whole set of these really pretty patterns. There you are, all the Disney princesses, but they are done as ballerinas. So I started this one. Now, she actually, in her pattern, she has the background, you stitch the background. Well, for this one, the background was purple. So I just decided to pull a piece of purple fabric that I had, again, that I had dyed. And that's where I started. Her on was purple fabric. So, just a little bit. Not a whole lot done, but it is a start. So, and again, I think I have quite a few of these too. I love series like this. You get to do a whole series of them. So, I need to get back to that one. I'm actually really excited to have these ones done. And so, and I decided to start with Pocahontas because that's not one I usually do. Okay, so this is actually a custom pattern that Fangirl Stitches on Etsy. I commissioned her to do for me, and she did such a fantastic job. I'm not a huge video game person. My son and my husband are the video game people in our house. They love Halo. But my husband introduced me to the game Dragon Age Inquisition, and I really, really like it. And so I've wanted to cross-stitch a piece with the Dragon Age characters, and I couldn't find it. I could not find one. So like I said, I messaged Fangirl Stitches on Etsy, and she made a piece for me. And these are the first 3 characters that I've gotten done. So, see if I, sorry, try to get, those are the first 3 that I've gotten done. If you know the game, it's Solus, Cassandra, and Liliana, if you're familiar with the Dragon Age Inquisition game. If not, they're cute characters still. At least I think they are. So I think there's 13 altogether. So I really need to get moving on this one because I love this. Like I said, it took me forever to get one, to get a pattern, and so now I really need to get it finished. Okay, so the last one that I'm going to show you is a new one. And it is a stitch-along. I don't usually do a lot of stitch-alongs, not like the mystery stitch-alongs. I've done a few, but not a lot. And this one is by like Fuzzy Fox Designs on Etsy. I've already told you about her. That was all the bird patterns that I did. And she is doing her first stitch-along, and it is featuring little cactuses. So cute. So I started and finished the first cactus. This is Astrid. How adorable is she? Isn't she cute? I cannot wait to see the rest of this design. Okay, I am so excited to see what else Rachel comes up with. The owner of Fuzzy Fox Designs. She does such cute patterns. This was also the first fabric that I ever gridded. First fabric I ever gridded. I've never gridded before. I tend to always start in the middle and just kind of work my way from there. But I want to do a full coverage piece. I purchased a new pattern. It's a full coverage piece. It's a mermaid. And I'm really, really excited to start it. And so in order to start that one, I decided I really need to learn to grid, and I also need to learn to park. So that one I'm hoping to be able to start hopefully in the next couple weeks. So hopefully I'll have a start by the time I do another video. Well, hopefully everyone likes this video and it works out okay and I do another video. So crossing fingers for that. Okay, so the last thing, or not the last thing, I guess the last thing, because I don't really have, my plans are pretty much to stick with what I've been doing and to kind of just keep working from there with the pieces that I've already showed you. I'd like to continue on. And then the only other piece that I haven't showed you that I would like to make some progress on, in fact I think I'm going to pull her out and work on her today. Excuse me, I've got stuff everywhere. Is it's another mermaid piece. And unfortunately, the shop that I bought this from no longer has this piece available. There's a stunning cross stitch. She no longer has this piece. But it's so pretty. And it's another mermaid, and it's Ariel. And this, I started on her. You can kind of see her face and her, like I said, her hair. But the face is actually, you don't stitch in the face. So, like the face and the arms and everything aren't colored in. So it's everything around her that's colored in. Oops, I'm sorry. Wow. I'm trying to show. Okay, we're going to do this. There we go. There we go. So I would really like to get back to this piece and finish it because I am just in love with the finished. Well, there. Now we can see it really good. I'm in love with the finished of what this one is, and so I plan on stitching on this today, and hopefully a little bit more this week. Okay. So the last thing I was going to show you was a little bit of stash. Like I said, I don't usually get a whole lot of stash. I tend to just pick up a few things here and there, and I kind of pick up a lot of white Aida, and then I turn it into stash, I guess, because I turn it. So this was one of the recent ones I dyed. I love this one. This is my first attempt at ombre fabric, And so it's kind of, I don't know if the color is going to show, but it's a teal, and it's 3 different shades of teal. So this is one of my more recent fabrics that I've dyed. And so I guess I kind of count my dyed fabric as my stash. And then I'll show you one other one, just because this one, I don't even know what I'm going to do this on. This was a total experiment of like, oh, let's just throw a whole bunch of these colors together and see what happens. And I actually really like it. I think it's going to be a Halloween piece of some sort, because it's gray with kind of reddish tones on top. And so I love it. So I have ideas to actually do a companion fabric to this with gray and I think purple on top. So I would like to try and dye that. So those are a couple of my more recent hand dyed. So otherwise for stash, like I said, I picked up that MGC textile even weave, and when I did that, I also picked up the Charles Craft 28 count Lugana. So I'm going to try that. And then I also have some Lugana and Jovelin fabric in my cart on 123 Stitch, because my birthday is coming up next month. So I'm starting to make my list of what I want for my birthday. And then the other things I picked up, and I've actually started to use some of these, and that is the variegated flosses from DMC. And as you can see, I've got one missing. So this was Blue Lagoon. Blue Lagoon. This is the Blue Lagoon collection. And then I got the Amazon collection. And again, I've started to use these. In fact, one of these is in the stitch along that I'm doing by Fuzzy Fox Design. That's the border. I used a color from here. Okay, and then I also picked up all of the variegated, just the DMC variegated, not the color variations, but just the straight up variegated. So that is my most recent. Other tan that, I also got the, oh no, I had it right here. There it is. It fell. I got the Halloween cross stitch. Just cross stitch. I got the Halloween, the new one, 2017. And I know this has been flipped through a ton. And I really like it. There's a lot of stuff in here that I want to stitch. So again, now to find the time to do it all. So I think that about wraps everything up. I probably have wasted enough of your time for today, and I really hope that you enjoyed, visiting with me for a little while and seeing some of the things that I'm working on. And I guess we'll see how everything goes, and I look forward to seeing you guys again in, well, probably a month or so. I'll probably do another video. So thank you, and have a great weekend, and I hope you guys get lots of time to stitch. So see you guys later. Bye.